This is Phoenix toward the end of the 1920s. With some 48,000 folks, it's far from a frontier outpost. Even though the Depression looms and money is tight in Phoenix, there is pride of accomplishment and enthusiasm for the future. So that on that Saturday morning in January 1929, when the Phoenix Republican headline shouted out,
"Orpheum Theater opening, marks epic in city history, read all about it. Orpheum Theater opening, marks epic in city history, read all about it."
for Phoenix, the future was now. The Orpheum was a theatrical palace, providing patrons with a splendor that rivaled the entertainment they came to see.
Everyone in Phoenix was very excited about the theater because it was the most beautiful building that had been built. I remember the opening night was very exciting, and of course everyone that possibly could get in the theater was there. And then the interior, of course, everyone was excited with the ceiling and the stars and the clouds that were moving, and it was just a real thrilling time.
Phoenix had a landmark. The very best of vaudeville made its way to the fabulous stage of the Orpheum with its latest lighting innovations. The disappearing theater organ thrilled the crowd, and laughter rocked the audience when the MC stepped onto the stage to announce,
"Mr. Stanley! Mr. Stanley! Would you please go to the cloakroom? Your overcoat is leaking."
It was prohibition, you know. The silver screen sparkled with the heroes and heroines of a golden era. For the Orpheum incorporated the first talking picture equipment, both Vitaphone and Movietone in Phoenix. Yes, Phoenix had indeed arrived. The Orpheum, the show palace of the West, attracted visitors from near and far. As World War II bore down on the country, the Orpheum was the place you went to see the latest news and escape into the fantasy world of Hollywood.
On several occasions, we were forced to sneak in.
We gotta see this.
Who's got money?
Oh. I got a penny.
That's not enough. What are we gonna do?
If we didn't want to charge the exits to get in, we would elect Leon, being the great Phoenix Junior High School basketball star. Everybody knew him, so these younger girls, they were just high school girls like we were high school kids. And so he would talk them in to just turn your head a little wise, or just to walk over there with your back to us, just for 10 seconds. And he would go in and trip the exit from the inside. And then there'd be this thunderous rush of us all stampeding through the exit corridor and into the seats. We didn't sit by, we just sat wherever we could.
World War II changed everything. Vaudeville died. For a time, the Hollywood studios' power was unlimited. They grew their own stars, controlled their own box office. So it wasn't surprising that the Orpheum was renamed the Paramount in the 50s. But then modern technology dealt a blow to the theater box office. Television became the rage, and people stayed at home. The Orpheum, now the Paramount, seemed destined to oblivion as neighborhood theaters sprung up to divide up what was left of the movie box office. In 1967, the Orpheum got a new lease on life when the Nederlander organization brought Broadway to Phoenix under the marquee of Palace West. These were great years with great stars. The landmark theater seemed secure at last, as Phoenicians thrilled to those first nights. But then, almost without warning, the curtain dropped, and except for an occasional roadshow, lecture series, town meeting, or Spanish language film, the great stage echoed emptiness. Dust collected, new development wedged in the Orpheum, and the show palace of the West seemed doomed.
It's really too bad. What a shame this has to happen.
It just makes me sick. This used to be such...
Doesn't anyone appreciate history?
Remember when this was a beautiful, exciting place to come?
Can't we do something to preserve such a
It
wonderful
deserves
land?
better than this. It ought to be saved. There should
Time
be...
is running out. Are we going to wait till it's too late again?
Not if the Orpheum Theater Foundation can help it. In 1984, the city of Phoenix agreed to acquire the theater. And the next year, the Orpheum was placed in the National Register of Historic Places. The Junior League of Phoenix provided the money to start the Orpheum Theater Foundation, and the city, with voter approval, set aside $7 million to restore the Orpheum to its original splendor. Once again, the stage of the Orpheum would house the legitimate theater. The hits of Broadway, if, and it's a big if, the Orpheum Theater Foundation could raise $4 million in public support. For you see, it will take $11 million to ensure that the Orpheum once again reflects the heritage and culture that has made this city great. Van Dyke, Johnson and Partners, architects noted for their renovation of Cleveland's Playhouse Square and Indianapolis's Circle Theater, can reclaim almost all of the original works of art. And that's what they truly are, that made the interior of the Orpheum so special. At the same time, they have redesigned the stage and orchestra pit, lighting grids and sound system, audience seating and amenities required by modern theater presentations. Everything old will be new again at the Orpheum. On that first night, when the cloud-covered ceiling turns to sunset, and the stars again twinkle as the house lights dim and the overture begins, the thrill will be back. And outside, the new Orpheum marquee proclaims a hit. So whether you're there that opening night, reading about it in the newspaper, or hearing about it on radio or television, if you've participated in this historic enterprise to assure future generations the experience of the arts in a priceless environment at the Orpheum Theater, a vital part of downtown Phoenix's new theater district, we will always know that the real stars are you.